morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Start the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise. Yes. Oh,
Good morning.
Forgot to put on my hat. There we go. Here we go.
Well, I'll be able to make my coffee. I do get me a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. He's a physician.
Yep.
Right.
The only doctor that has a tin neck, if you think about it.
Nice. Nice. And look, today's a good show today. We're all excited for the show today, but we're going to get into the show today. But the one thing I want to do, I want to thank my channel members through a clip. Here we go. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you, channel members, channel subscribers, people like Tom Mitchell, Gabriel Petrov, everybody who's a channel member. You're helping the channel way much. And now all these subscribers who like the video, share the video, comment, chat with us. You guys rock. You guys rule. You make the channel great. We appreciate you 100%. Yeah. Oh, we got Real Wiz. Says morning.
Morning, Liz.
Morning. Good morning, Real Wiz. Says, yeah, I got to make some coffee too. That's right. Make some coffee. Get some coffee going. How you guys doing this morning, Hillbilly? How you feeling?
Doing pretty good. Arena stream kind of went a little short, so I went into a rant.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I was there for that rant.
Yep.
Oh, Lone Wolf, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Excited for today.
Whoop, whoop. Excited. Let's get pumped. Let's get pumped. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, it's a good day. I want to talk about Magic the Gathering Commander deck building advice, even though I think I spelled it wrong. Let me see. But yeah. Yep, I spelled it wrong. But anyways, I'm gonna fix that really quick. But yeah, so what are you guys hoping to hear about today?
Dang blanket, I can't remember now.
Can't remember.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about for sure.
Yeah, it is. I'm hoping that they finish spoiling the Spider-Man cards, because I do want to buy me some Spider-Man cards and make a commander deck out of them.
All right.
I don't know when they're going to be done with the dang gone spoilers.
Yeah, well, they're doing spoilers weird. Like, well, we're getting a subsidiary set on Arena for Spider-Man, and they're not spoiling the cards.
Yeah.
That's got to be annoying for those people who are excited to play it on the set or test it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my big rant was about. I mean, I am annoyed about that because, I mean, we got Spider-Man cards. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Love it. Because, you know, I myself, I'm a Marvel fan. Love all the Marvel characters. I like X-Men. I like Spider-Man. I like them all. But I was looking forward to playing them on Arena. But we're not getting them on Arena. We're getting a card that, I mean, we're getting the cards on Arena, but it's going to be different artwork, different names, and all that.
Right.
But we don't know what the cards are. We don't know what the creature types are. We don't know anything else about the cards except they're coming to Arena. I mean, they're not going to be the Marvel cards, but they're going to have to be the same as the Marvel cards. But yet, my biggest gripe about that is, what's the name of the cards? What is what? How can I? And how can I and since I always do the early access streamer events, am I going to do that this time? Are they going to have it this time?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And if they have it, this time, how can I theorycraft when I don't know the cards?
Right.
I know I can't theorycraft Spider-Man decks because Spider-Man's cards aren't going to be in Arena, but they're going to have the Arena copies of the Spider-Man cards, but in different names and stuff like that. And but how can I theorycraft? I cannot theorycraft whatsoever because of not being able to play the actual cards.
Right. You need to be able to play the actual cards.
Yep. But that's my biggest gripe about that. I mean, I understand that Wizards has a contract with Marvel and everything, and they had to push these cards out. I'm not against them for doing that, but my own personal opinion is they should have had all the ducks in a row where they could have had it in digital form and paper form.
Right.
Then released it. That way, Arena could have the cards, and Arena players could play the cards. And not only that, if they like the Arena cards, then they can go and get the Spider-Man cards, paper form, and play with them in paper, and also vice versa. But this time, Arena and paper standard is not going to line up. I know Arena has some formats that paper don't.
Right.
But both of them do have standard. But Arena standard and the paper standard ain't going to line up this time, just due to the not spoiling the digital cards.
Well,
because they're only spoiling the paper cards.
We'll see how it goes for sure.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I thought I'd pipe in here on this one real quick. So yeah, it is a little problematic. I can see your point there, Hillbilly. Mm-hmm. But it also sounds like, it's either all or nothing. Either you give it to us paper and digital, or we don't want Marvel. And I can see that point, but I feel like there's a lot of others out there that are okay with what we got and that will just kind of make do. My question for you is, the digital versions of the paper cards, aren't they going to be mechanically equivalent, right? Like they'll functionally do the same, they just won't have the same art or name?
Correct. They'll be the same card. You'll have the Spider-Man version, the paper card. Then you'll have a digital copy of that, but it'll be the same card. From my understanding, I could be wrong on this, but from my understandings, the digital copy will be the same card as the Spider-Man, do the same thing that the Spider-Man card does. However, it's going to have a different name on it, different art.
Right. Similar to the Ikoria Godzilla skins. Right.
Kind of like that, but it's not going to be. They're not going to have anything about Spider-Man on the digital copies.
Right. Okay. Well, that does suck, and it will make your brain have to do extra work, really. So I guess kind of yeah. But really, if theory crafting and deck building is your primary concern, something that you really want to do, there are avenues and there are communities and people who are, forum posting and YouTube commenting, sectioning about it. So I'm sure that you can link up with those folks, if that is your mission, my man.
Well, as far as theory crafting a deck to do the early access streamer events, that's nearly impossible this time due to them not pulling any of the digital cards.
Oh, I see now. So even if you wanted to talk, the mechanics aren't even known.
Right.
Huh.
And you got web slinging and all that on Spider-Man, but what digital copies want to have web slinging? What's that creature's going to be called? I mean, what's the name of it?
Right, and what's the picture? I get it.
Right.
But yeah,
that's the big gripe that I have about the Spider-Man. Because don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man. I love Marvel characters. I've always grew up watching the cartoons, the X-Men cartoons and Spider-Man cartoons and all that. So I'm a big Marvel fanatic. Glad it's coming to Magic and all that, but still want to play it. But I'm also an arena player. I want to play them on arena, and understand that I can't. Understand why I can't. But I also believe that if you can't put them on, get it all your ducks in a row, get it digital out along with the paper, then you shouldn't do it at all.
And that's just the opinion you have. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what it's not? It's not Commander.
True.
All right. So, well, that's a fun rant. But now we need to get back on the track with everything. And the first thing on track with everything is...
Card of the day.
Woo-woo. Card of the day is Ice Till Explorer. Dun, da, da, da. 2 generic, 2 green, creature, insect, scout. You may play additional land on each of your turns for 4 mana. You may play lands from your graveyard for 4 mana, which is not horrible. It has landfall, and whenever a land you control enters, mill a card. So you mill the top card of your library. It's a 2/4 creature. This card is seeing a lot of play right now, and people are digging on the frame of this card. Like in Commander, people are playing it. Milling yourself seems to be good. Getting that land in your graveyard seems to be good.
Right. This effect is similar to the artifact Crucible of Worlds, right?
Yeah, the play land from a graveyard, but it also lets you play an additional land, right? Yeah. Excuse me. You may play an additional land on your turn, so every time you mill yourself, you get a chance to play a land from a graveyard, which this card lets you do. Yeah, so it's like Crucible Worlds, but on a creature and a little bit stronger, but very green. Like, Crucible Worlds you can fit in any deck. This card you have to play in any deck that runs green in Commander.
Right. I got a green deck. Cynic.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you get yourself a box of Edge of Eternity, you'll be able to pull this card.
Yeah, if I ever get that far.
You'll get there.
I got some things that's keeping me from doing anything right now, unfortunately.
But hopefully, and I think by the time you get to the point where you can, it will still be around. Edge of Eternities is being printed pretty good. I like it. I like it. I can't wait to get some of it. But yeah, Ice Till Explorers seems to be pretty good, pretty awesome, and people are loving it. Oh, yeah.
I'm wanting some of these Spider-Man cards.
I want some Spider-Man cards too. But I got to be patient with everything I do.
Yep.
All right. But with that, we're going to move on to the picture of the day. So look at these. That group of dudes playing Magic as if they were friends, acting like they cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried getting a turtle in there, and they made some mutant-looking turtle thing over there that doesn't look like a Teenage Mutant Turtle, but it's there.
I don't know what it is.
Looks like a mix between a turtle and an armadillo.
Yep.
Hey.
Turtle, armadillo, and a human.
It gives me Star Wars Cantina vibes.
That's right, it does. Apparently, the AI is like there's a copyright type thing where they can't exactly do magic cards. So right now they're looking at whatever pamphlets are in front of them instead of cards.
Wow.
But yeah, that was the picture of the day. I was having fun designing the picture more than I was putting the meme. Like when I got the picture done, I'm like, that's fun. I'm like, I don't know what to put the words on it, so I'm like, look at those dudes playing in store. Because that's a fun way to play Magic. Because in the store with your buddies, with your friends. Yeah.
Looks like a library, maybe.
A lot of LGSs kind of look like that. Usually you see more games on stores. Like you see in the background on the left side, there's like some game box looking things. There's a lot of product on the shelves around you because game stores have an issue where they have to display the product and have play area available for people.
Mm-hmm.
DeLawson, what's up?
Whoa. Lawson.
Woo. So yeah, that's a mixture. But yeah, it kind of looks like a library for sure. But yeah, and you can play at your local library too. There's tables.
Yep, I've done it. Yep, I've done it.
Yeah. And with that, my friends, that's a picture of the day. And let's get to the topic. So, people who are excited about the topic of Commander deck building advice, and trust me, I did fix the spelling error on YouTube side. I spelled advice wrong because Tortoise can't think in the mornings. No, I spelled it with a C instead of an S, so it said advice or advike. I don't know how you want to say it. To me, they sound the same because C makes a hard K sound and an S sound, just like S makes an S sound.
I told you to quit taking advice from Lone Wolf, but you don't listen.
Advice from Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf. Heroic. All right. So.
Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So we're getting on topic of Commander deck building advice, and Lone Wolf said he wrote down some notes. He wants to share with us, so it's going to be exciting to see what he has to say. One of the things that people deal with when they're coming with a commander building is they like to select their commander first. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Selecting their commander first. And sometimes that's a pain in the butt because you don't know who you want your commander to be. And today, I so biasly pulled out Rafika the Mini as the commander, right? Now, I pulled him out because I needed the deck to kind of show you something later on in the topic when we talk about mana curve. But a lot of people, when they build decks, they go to websites and things to look up. And one of the things I want to show up is, hold on, we're getting there. Share screen. EDHREC. Have you guys ever heard of EDHREC before?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I use EDHREC a lot, and like in the search bar, you can type in Rafik, which I already did. You click on Rafik the Mini, and it's like, boom, here's the commander you're looking for, and it gives you the idea and options to put budget. It's like as commander, it says bracket. You can be like 3 price range, budget, mid range. It tells you what you're going for. Like it gives you an idea. Like, oh, Rafik is like Voltron, auras. We don't need all the ads. Enchantress.
Yeah, they've really updated their website. It's been a while since I visited it, but these details are a lot more specific than they used to have.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it is more specific. Then if you scroll down, it gives you charts, combos, and similar commanders that you can look at. But then tell you new cards in your bracket system, like Biosynthetic, Burst, Chrome Champion, Tifa's Limit Break. They're giving you cards that are newer that you can use in your deck. Then you come down and go to high synergy cards, which, like in my decks, I run Finest Hour, Sovereign's Lost Lore, and Sublime Archangel. Yes, I do. Yeah, and like they give you ideas to work. Like in one of my decks, I run Shield of the Oversoul, Steel of the Godhead. I have a copy of it. Don't know where I'm putting it yet. But Solid Pride Mage. So it gives you a list of cards that work in a deck that people let work in their deck. Cathedral War, possibly Rafika the Mini is the only deck in the world that actually makes this card good.
Wow.
Right? And Lone Wolf got a copy of it that I want. Cathedral War enters the battlefield tapped and has Exalted. And, you know, it gives you that idea. Then it takes you to more different ideas, like high synergy cards. Rogue's Passage is pretty good. Battle of Grace Angel. Gilspire Avenger. Yeah, like EDHREC is a good place to start building decks. And there's more cards you can go through. And the reason why those cards showed up, if you're reading them as it was going along, it's because Rafika the Mini has Exalted, and whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until in turn.
Oh.
So, like we could look at Edgar Markov, right? Edgar Markov, bracket 3, because that seems to be the average bracket people like. Budget, mid-range, because that's where it goes. It tells you there's token synergies, aggro synergies, aristocratic synergies, +1/+1 counter synergies that you work with a deck. And you don't have to choose all these abilities.
Right.
To build the deck around, or all these synergies to build the deck around. You can choose like 2 of them, like aggro and aristocrats. You're guaranteed tokens no matter what with the commander. And aristocrats and tokens go together very well. +1 counters sometimes work in the deck. And you come down and it gives you some newer cards like Sunborn, Voidborn. Whenever this creature or another creature or an artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Pretty solid. An Edge of Eternities. And it's only uncommon. You got Lightless Evangel, pretty good. Works with +1 counters. You got Midgard City of Mako. I'm thinking that's what it says, Mako or Mako. And it enters as a land, or you can cast it for its reactor raid. You sacrifice an artifact creature if you do draw 2 cards, which is solid, everybody.
Yeah, it is. I don't mean to interrupt, but hello, Madam Monk. How you doing today?
Madam Monk. Woo woo.
We also got a comment about EDHREC here.
So you can get EDHREC to give you an average build of a deck for a commander, and then we'll tweak it. Makes novice building much less intimidating. Nice.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, that's why I'm showing off EDHREC, is because it helps people go off. I've trusted this site for many times. I don't always use EDHREC myself, because I'm usually pretty good at building my own decks in general, because I'm more advanced in that. But for beginner players, it is awesome. And there are times I use it to look at cards I might not know. Like there's one time I was looking up Rafika the Mini and looking at cards while I was buying cards, and I found some cards on the list that I didn't realize existed that were banging for the deck. So yeah, EDHREC is a good way. And it's not net decking, it's helping you.
Yep.
Which net decking's all right, especially in like standard. You need to fight in standard when you go to tournaments. You need a good deck. Some people copy a deck and learn it so they can play it. And trust me, you got to learn that.
I mean,
Yep.
I wouldn't agree with that personally. I think that any form of online assistance, like via a deck building website, is literally net decking. It's internet decking. That's how the word was made. Am I knocking people for doing it? No, I'm not one of those purists that tell others how they can enjoy their hobbies. But yeah, I couldn't be mistaken for not calling this net decking. Sorry, folks. You guys.
I'm not calling EDHREC net decking. I said it's not net decking.
Right. No, but and that's cool. And that's cool that you stand on that hill. But I personally would not stand on that hill. I would classify this as net decking.
I guess I can see your point, but yeah, you still have to put the cards together. Where net decking gives you a list of cards you usually try to play off the list. Then, like I was watching
but to counter your point, it's literally feeding you synergy cards.
Oh yeah.
So that is like even the right, exactly. So it's spoon feeding you the stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Net deck, the lists that I believe you're referring to are lists that were submitted by players that had made their own list. Whether they copied it or not, you don't know. But those are player submitted ones. This this site EDHREC, which I'm not knocking them. I like the folks that do the YouTube channel, Joey and all them. They're really funny. Their content is pretty good, and the website is great resource. It's a great resource for folks.
Yeah, I was
But
watching it.
you got to call a spade, though. It's net decking.
Like I was watching a video with LSV and some other pro player at the time talking about net decking and how they got net decked some decks, and they talked about how they had to learn the decks and play the decks, because when you get one deck list, that's a good deck list. It doesn't fix the problem. There's other decks that go against it well, and they had to learn them, and so they had to build their sideboards around it. So it's
right,
not,
piloting and net decking doesn't teach you how to pilot the deck.
Nope,
that is very correct.
Yeah, and that's why I don't. That's why I don't think EDHREC is really, like, in my opinion here. EDHREC is not really net decking, because you have to put the cards together and figure out the deck and how it plays. Where net decking is like, here's a deck shell, you got to figure out how it plays, and in your meta. And I don't think a lot of people, no, I could be wrong. I don't think a lot of people net deck like particular deck list off for Commander, but I could be wrong. I don't know the whole world. All right. Lord Trevor Ryan Peebles says the key themes to deck building is resource management. How well can the deck manage its resources? That's really good. Now walk through the town as well. Shame. That's right. Ryan says definitely not that. It's definitely net decking, which is one of the core, and just leaning into the meta the most efficient ways has downsides. It can make a game less interesting, but it's in nature of the internet. No, yeah, because like I can understand that point of view, because like, you know, I used to, when I was younger in Magic the Gathering. Whoops. Remove. When I was younger in Magic the Gathering, I'd watch people's deck techs all the time on YouTube before EDHREC was a thing. You know, people post their decks online and you get ideas off them. You're like, oh, that's a good card. That's a good card. You know, because sometimes you find a combo. And this is where I can see where it teeters on net decking, when you find like a combo you didn't know about or something, and you put it in your deck because you want that same synergy combo going off. Like when someone discovers that that infinite life gain life drain combo with what's it called? HILLBILLY has it in his decks.
Talking about in my Edgar deck.
Yeah.
Bloodthirsty. No.
Yeah, Bloodthirsty Vampire is a piece of one of them, and you have Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Bond.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got that combo in several different ways in the Edgar deck.
Well, that's because they improved upon it, because it's a winning combo. It ends the game right away, basically.
Yep.
You know, when a new player discovers that, they put it in their deck. They put it in their deck, and that's when it's kind of copying someone else. They're like, I want to do it for that. But look, as long as you're learning to play the deck and having fun with the game, no one's going to shame you.
Yep.
I mean,
Right. No, that does lead into the whole conversation of what is net decking. Great video idea.
Great video idea.
Yeah.
True.
The way I built my Edgar deck is I already had a vampire deck. I just dismantled it and put it in with my Edgar deck.
Yeah, and you upgraded it with red, because your vampire deck was black-white and your commander was red, black-white, and so you just added red to the deck, and you got new cards and got some help with the deck. Synergize with the deck, like how I told you to put that vampire with removal attached to it in your deck, because you're making all those tokens that are not important really. Right. And when he sacrifices a token, you get to remove anything off the board. Which brings me into the next segment of this conversation, is removal. What's a good number of removal in your deck, and what kind of removal do you look for in your deck? You know, I always net deck, then put my own twist on it. There are people who do that for sure. Yes, I can see that, because when I first started building decks, I'd build my decks and they would perform all right. Then I'd look at other people's decks, see what they did and what I liked better. Like, I'd look at their decks to see what they did, and if I liked something in that deck, I'd take a piece of it. It's a learning curve for sure, because you have to put your twist on it. Because look, all the commanders run, a lot of commanders run the same kind of cards, and that's why EDHREC is out there to kind of help you. And if you want to check it out, EDHREC's link is in the description below.
Cool.
It's free to use, just advertisements. You can become a Patreon on the thing. I'm not sponsored, whatever, so do what you will with that. Lots of destroy all creatures and land destruction. That's right. I like to destroy all creatures and land destruction. That's funny, Metamonk. So I'm going to open up the board to you commander players out there. What is a good solid number for removal on your decks? And what kind of removal do you play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I got a list of things to deal with to mention. I've been playing since a little bit more before 2011.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to come up with like a perfect, not like a perfect because you're not going to get a perfect, but I try to come up with like a guideline for what I do to build a deck with. So I have anywhere from ramp, card draw, removal, wipes, and how many lands. I personally, for me, I like to run.
Uh-huh.
And this goes for either building pre-con or building from the scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I have a hard time building from scratch, but with following something similar to this, I have a better luck doing.
Oh, yeah.
So for me personally, removal, I run anywhere between 7 and 12, depending on the type of deck I run.
Right.
But you also want to split that between target, like specific creature removal, enchantment removal, artifact removal, and planeswalker removal.
Oh yeah, for sure. And black white has the best removal. Like they have the best handful removal that destroys any permanent or target online permanent. But a lot of it's destroy target permanent. But green has, and I'm going to say this: green and white has the Beast Within. And the gifts card that makes the 3/3 elephant to destroy target permanent. People, I'm going to die on this hill. I'm a new believer of land destruction. Now, I don't believe in mass land destruction, but people are starting to play lands that are on the game changer list that prove to you that you need some form of land destruction. As you point down a little
bit. There are problems that need answers.
Right. So you need at least a way to run lands. Like Beast Within's green. The gifts card, I can't think of the name of the gifts card, is white. But then you have black white cards that destroy target permanent, like Vindicate. But you also have lands like Ghostly Quarters that can answer some of those lands. You have Wasteland and the other land that goes out there that are colorless that can fit in any deck. Look, there's a reason why some of these cards are costly. It's because people ahead of the game realize there's more function out there for this land destruction. You don't have to be a mean person that destroys everybody's lands, but some people are playing cards like Maze of Ith that can stall the game from a character winning that you can destroy so you can win with your main character creature. Just have that in mind. And look, people are less salty when you destroy a utility land like that than when you just destroy their lands altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you come to lands like, and yes, I'm speaking from experience, but Glacial Chasm, Field of the Dead, you need to have stuff like Strip Mine or Demolition Field, Field of Ruin. You got to have that kind of stuff in there to deal with that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Metamonk says 8 is a good number for removal. All right. 8 is a good number. But look, I say go with your synergy. Go with your theme, right? I have one deck that runs like 3 pieces of removal, kick spot. That's my main Rafika the mini deck that I built. Then I have one deck, my Abzan Enchantments deck, which is pretty much like 30% removal. That's like 15 cards, and then it runs on theme. So run enough removal that helps your deck. Don't run removal that takes away from your deck. So I say think about your deck build and see how it plays out. Because if you're running too much removal for your deck type, and your opponent has nothing on the board, and you keep drawing removal spells, well, you're just ahead of the game and not doing anything. So find something that works, you know. My ratio, including removal, I usually do multiples of 6, depending how often I want to see it. So 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah. 24 might be excessive, but if it fits the theme of the deck, I understand it. It's like my Abzan enchantment deck is all about removal and making creature tokens of enchantments from the graveyard. So if I can remove things out of the way and build up my board, that is solid. So I'd say between 8 and 12 is a good number. I'm thinking about 12 things. One of the 12 things I see people running a lot of, I was watching a podcast last night about people talking about ramp and commander. Some people, I think, run an excessive amount of ramp for what they want to do. But what do you think is a good number for ramp cards in your deck?
Okay, so for me, lately I tend to run more than this amount. But when I'm building a deck, I'd like to start out anywhere between 8 and 12 at the bare minimum for ramp. But you could always go above that depending on. And I'm still learning the whole mana curve thing. But if your mana curve's a little bit on the higher end, you want to run more.
Oh yeah, you do want to run a lot of ramp. So thinking about ramp, is there a certain number of lands you run in your commander deck? Like basically, like every time I build a deck, I run like this amount of lands.
For me, it depends on the type of deck I run. If it's let's take my Edgar deck versus my landfall deck.
Right.
My Edgar deck, I like to run anywhere between 35 and 38 lands.
Right.
Because I don't want to have too many lands.
Right.
But with my landfall deck, because the whole deck is built around lands, you want to have lands. So I run about 40 on the lands.
Right. I think 40 is about the most you want to run with lands. My average number for running lands in deck is 38. And you can ask anybody I play with, I hardly ever miss a land drop with that number. I have 99 land. I have a 99 land commander with 1 removal as a commander, Child of Laura. It doesn't play well, but I figured why not? Hey, that works. But yeah,
I usually do about 34, including MDFCs to start, and then I'll move up from there if I need to.
Right. So when figuring out ramp and land, I know green is the highest denominator when I say this, but look for the theme of synergies that you need and look how much you need to complete. So now if you have 12 2-cost ramp cards, you can get 6 available mana at turn 4. That's half the time. Yeah. But it depends on the deck. Like I have a 5-color deck where I can't just run colorless land. I need to fix my land way ahead of time. So I run about 30 lands. So I'm not on the high powered to CDH. That makes sense. But hey, if it's working for you, let it work for you. Plus, I never miss a land drop either. All right. So I say the average number I've heard people say they run in their deck is like 10 to 12 ramp spells. Which I don't know why, but like what works for me is like 6 to 7. But that works for me so far. But also, I'm very particular on my mana curve, right? And so one of my decks runs a lot of ramp, and that's because I'm trying to get to some high-powered Eldrazi's. And another deck I have has 0 ramp because it cares about having 1-2 drops to play that are not mana ramp, but creatures and auras. Yeah. So I say I was watching last night a video about people talking about ramp and commander, and they were talking about running like 20 sources of ramp, and I thought that was excessive.
Wow.
But they also want to get to the main big spells. They want to spend the first few turns playing some ramp spells and playing some 6-7 drops, like by turn 4, turn 5. And so that's what they want to do. Yeah, that's the thing. That's good. But so I would say for ramp, I would stick between 7 and 12. But, work around with your theme. Work around with your synergies. Because, like, there's some, like, for example, in HILLBILLY's Edgar Markov deck, he has those infinite life gain, life drain things. Running those multicolored lands that come to play and commit a crime by dealing damage to an opponent, can kick that off. You know, and another thing I want to talk about dealing with ramp is perfect mana, which is like hard to complete, but perfect mana where you have all the lands in your deck that are multicolored to fix your lands, having perfect mana like that. Work a ramp around that and try to get cards out fetch for those particular lands. That's why fetch lands, like the old fetch lands that are pretty good and pretty solid, that Pain of Life and search for a mountain or forest card, that's your basic. That's why those are good, because you can fetch for those triumphs and stuff like that. So you can mess with your land base to fetch you those perfect lands and help your ramp and mana fixing. And ramp and mana fixing are two different things, but they can kind of blur lines at the same time, because ramp speeds you up. Mana fixing just fixes your coloring. And when you put them together, ramp that fixes your mana. That's just, a whole generation of thinking there. Let's see. Super underrated ramp card, Empowered Auto Generator. I love that card. I have a copy of it in one of my decks. And Empowered Auto Generator costs 4 colorless mana, and you tap it, you put a counter on it, and adds a mana equal to the counter on it. So every time you use it, it adds more mana.
Interesting.
Brilliant. I also have a deck with 0 lands that's built to win turn 1 or 2. That reminds me of Dredge in Legacy. I don't know I don't think the deck's legal anymore, but yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, because I always wanted to play Dredge, and I think they banned a couple of the cards, and the deck got too expensive. So here's a big one. I'm going to dig Lone Wolf's brain to see what he has for this one. I don't know if he thought about this one. He could have. Lone Wolf, you ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready for it.
How do you implement drawing cards in your decks? And how do you implement drawing cards in non-blue, non-green decks?
That one is a tough one. For me, man, that is actually tough. I guess for my, I'm still like a little shaky on the whole card draw. For me, I don't run anything less than about 7 to 10. I have a tendency to even not draw any card draw, even running at that.
Right.
But I run different stuff like Horn of Greed and different stuff like that, just in case if it's not like in the, like you said, the blue colors or the green or whatever. That card there, yeah, it helps everybody, which is a really bad thing. But if you're ramping, you're ramping and you're playing a whole bunch of lands per turn, you're drawing several cards off of what you're trying to do.
All right. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, 7 to 12 cards is usually what I run. But I can try to push draw in any form of synergy I can. If I can draw a card, have the ability to draw a card, I'm going to do it. Because drawing, getting more cards in hand situationally, and what's the word? That's a number word. Percentile puts you in a good spot to get your game fixed. Always include 6 or so lands that let you draw, since it can go back in any deck. Artifacts can give a decent draw too. That's right.
Yep.
Lord. My cat being all noisy. No. But anyways, so how do you put draw into non-green, non-blue decks? Well, that's a question about synergy, my friends. White is very politicky with draw. White lets you draw cards, but they usually wants your opponents to draw cards. Bloomburrow is a great set for this. When they gift a card, you got abilities to help your opponents draw cards to get what you need. So you need to implement removal over draw on white, but you also have to have ways to draw. And most times, white's like, if I draw, target opponent gets to draw, and you get to choose, and you get to do a little politicking. Black, in general, for drawing, likes death, likes creatures dying, right? So a lot of times in draw, if you're not running the cards that say, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life type of deal, they're wanting you to. What are you doing, kitty? They're wanting you to sacrifice a creature, or they'll get a card that says whenever a creature control dies, draw a card. And they have special effects like that. So you want to get into the synergy of how everything works there, right?
Yep.
So black-white has a lot of draw. Red does rummaging. Rummaging is actually pretty decent. It's not the best. Drawing cards is advantage to your hand. Like saying I draw a card or loot. I draw a card, discard a card. You're drawing a card, then you get a choice to do something. Rummaging is a little bit different, a little harder to master. It's more of a skill technique to get a good rummaging technique down. And rummaging is where you discard a card first, then you draw a card. So you got to make the choice to discard a card and randomly get a card. We're drawing in card, like looting, where you draw a card and discard a card. You get to draw a card, then you get to choose a card to discard. So you get a chance over advantage. With rummaging, you're like, oh, I'm going to discard this card. Maybe you don't need it now. It could be good later. But when you draw a card, you don't know what card you're getting, so you can't get the most optimal decision out of the way first. So you gotta master that. And red, black, white is all about rummaging, sacrificing creatures, and losing life. Like Bob, Dark Confident, and you got Dark Tutelage that does the same thing, where you reveal the top card of your library, you lose life equal to that card, and put it in your hand. The mana cost of that card. So you gotta trinket around that kind of style of drawing, and with that you gotta synergize your deck. Like Bob and Dark Tutelage are really good in a life gain deck because you're paying life to draw cards, and sometimes a butt ton of life. And life gain decks are gaining a lot of life, so you kind of evens you out, so you're not really losing that much. Like in Lone Wolf's Soloro deck, Dark Tutelage could probably be a beast in that deck since he gains a lot of life in that deck, and he's losing life to gain life later. Like lose life to draw an additional card could just potentially be good. Now the downside to Dark Tutelage over Dark Confident, because Dark Confident's a creature, it can be killed, board wiped very easily. Dark Tutelage is an enchantment, and some people will purposely not destroy that enchantment because for the people who are not running the life gain deck are going to target that, are not going to target that card because it's doing work for them. So you got to synergize and theme around your draw in black, red, white. And yeah.
And I gotta say, some of my black favorite card, personally for me, black card draw is my favorite. I don't know if you technically consider some of this card draw or one of these three card draw, but I like to run Phyrexian Arena, which you lose a life to draw a card. You got greed. You got greed. If you pay a black and lose 2 life, you can draw a card. It's one of my favorites in my black decks. But this is a card that I like, but I also don't like in certain situations because I don't know if it's technically card draw, but it is Necropotence.
Necropotence is broken.
you could pay like 10 life, and at the end of your turn, you get 10 cards.
Right.
So I think black out of all of them has some really good stuff that you can use in any black deck. Right.
And like I was mentioning, you got to plan around that life loss because, if you have 10 life, you're not going to pay 10 life to draw 10 cards. In average, unless you're just trying to get out of the game.
True.
So you got to plan around it. So that's why I brought up your Loro deck, because the Loro likes to gain life. It likes to do all the shenanigans. Now, Lone Wolf, is there anything that you've had on your list that you wanted to talk about of cards or deck building tips that you thought of?
Okay, so we got ramp, we got card draw, we got removal, and we got lands. One category we haven't talked about is your favorite category, board wipes.
Right.
And for me, I have grown this number because it is essential to have board wipes in your deck. No matter where or who you're playing. Normally, to begin with, I'd only run 1 to 2 board wipes. That's it. That's all. And to me, that's too low.
Oh yeah.
So for me, anymore when I start building decks, it is a bare minimum 3 to 5 board wipes for me in any deck that I build. And that's just how I updated my form of building decks.
Oh yeah. I wonder who kind of taught you about that. Who might have been an influence? Because board wipes are essential, and trust me, they are essential. Because like if your opponents outrun the game with creatures, and a simple board wipe can clear the board, gives you a chance to build back up.
Yep.
And you gotta be smart with your board wipes. I've learned in the last couple of weeks that I didn't have to board wipe the board to keep my plan going on in the strategy in the game. You know, so yeah, board wipes are huge. I run like 5 to 6 of them on average. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, varying on the deck. Like one of my decks, the giveaway deck runs 1, 1.5, 2.5, 2.5 board wipes. And that's because the deck is a lot more stronger than that. And the removal is through combat because people want to block these creatures. Yeah. No, okay. Board wipes is a good subject. One thing I wanted to talk about. Here we go. Nope. Not trying to hide myself. Is mana curve. Right? Everything. Yeah. Everything we talked about depends on your mana curve. Like this deck doesn't run much ramp at all, if any. It doesn't run at all. That's because I got 10 2-drops, 19 20 drops, 17 3-drops, and 10 4-drops. That's the most deck. The highest ratio of board of drops in this deck is 4. Like up to 4. Then after that, you got 5 4-drops, 6 2-drops, you got 2 6-drops. And 2 7-drops. So you notice, and I wish I had a better view of this, but if you notice, like the deck ratio kind of tells you how you want your deck to go. There's plenty of removal in this deck, but not as much as I would normally run in a regular deck. But that's because this is about getting that synergy on with the Voltron theme. But the deck is a core 2 deck, and it runs 1 to 4 drops. Now, another deck might switch over where you have more 5-drops than you do 4-drops. You know, maybe 5 drops is where your deck starts off. That's where you start thinking about removal. Removal is about protecting your strategy, also giving you time to play your bigger cards. This deck, if I'm playing something turn 6 and my creature's still out, there's something going on that's gonna be bigger. Like the Sovereign's Lost Allura. Sovereign's Lost Allura says, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, search your library for an aura card and slap it on that creature. That's attacking. And that usually fetches us one particular card. Eldrazi Conscription. Give a creature +10/+10 and annihilator 2 and all fun jazz. So it's very succinct. Removal, everything we talked about, removal, ramp, draw, board wipes, helps you protect your strategy. There's a couple board wipes in this deck, 2.5. 2.5 because one of them, the half is a Aetherize. Helps clear the board when you need it, you know. But other than that, this deck focuses. It has tutors in there, like some tutors, some game changers. Well, they're not technically game changers, but tutoring's a game changer. That's a game changer. So I want to teach about learning your 1-drops and letting learning your mana curve and letting that figure it out. Most of the time, hold on. Most of the time, you want your removal to be 1, 2, or 3 mana costs. That's not all the time. Removal is removal. Run whatever removal you can afford, and put in your deck. And anything, add it in your deck if it fits a synergy. If it fits one of your synergies, go for it. Go for it. But also, in that vein of thinking, learn, if you haven't yet, and I'm assuming you would, learn combat strategy in Magic, because trading with creatures is another form of removal that's important to do. It's very big in learning in like tournament styles. Why not learning combat, training combat, learning your combat tricks?
It's a fundamental of Magic, not just Commander.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I said tournament, to kind of broaden the idea of it. But yes. And
I got a couple of questions.
What's up?
All right, the first question, it pertains to the mana curve. What is the best way to learn how to? Because I still am really bad in this area. We talked about mana curve. I would like to figure out how to learn how to do figure out the mana curve better. What would be the best way of trying to figure that out?
So, two things mana curve is good for. One, telling you how much land you need to play most of your spells. Two, how fast you want to learn how fast your deck will pull off and getting into its main core themes. Like this deck I showed you, is about playing a creature turn 1, turn 2, mainly turn 2, and building up by turn 4 to win. Or not win, but to get rid of a player. The whole idea of mana curve is to teach you how your deck naturally synergizes by card ratio. How many lands should you run? What's your highest expected card to play? And what will you see more and most in when it comes to mana drops? Like in this deck list, 3 drops is the highest, and 2 drops are the highest. So when you use Scryfall, you can find cards that do the same or similar thing that cost less. Do enough cuts, and you will get down to the mid 3 average cost. That's right. That's a good idea.
Yep.
But you see what I'm saying is, like there's 19 2-drops, 17 3-drops. That means most of the time I see 2 3-drops. Those decks suggest I don't need a lot of ramp. I just need more perfect mana, which this deck kind of works on. It's slow mana, but it's perfect. That's why it's core 2. Right? If you're running a deck that's running 6 and higher drops as the main thing, that's where you want to see more ramp. And you got to protect your spells. You kind of want to go that route. Like I got to protect my spells. Got to have my low creatures do what they can, but my high creatures are where my mana cost is. So I need to protect myself while I get to that strategy. And that's one of the things people need to look at is their deck strategy. And that's one of the things that looking at your mana curve helps with. It's pretty solid. Any other questions?
Yep, I got one more, and personally, and this is another section on my list that I wrote down in the notes. Personally, I don't run this section, but I feel it's important to. Is protection spells.
Mm-hmm.
How many would you run in a normal deck? And yeah.
All right. So I personally don't run a lot of protection spells. I run like 0, but I think on average people run like 4 to 5, and that's what I've seen people play. That I don't know their full deck list. Like Teferi's protection is pretty big, and there's like lots of them out there. But I'm pretty sure.
Would you classify a counter spell as a protection spell?
No, counter spells are considered removal.
But okay, that's a great answer. But I mean, the argument could be made that countering something that could damage or kill you as a player is protecting yourself or your creature if it's the thing being targeted.
Right, but that'd be the same as a creature destroyer spell. What he's talking about is like Teferi's protection, fog, preventing all combat damage, giving all your creatures hexproof and indestructible until then, like heroic intervention. So yeah. I understand, and I understand your side, TCG. That's a valid question.
Yeah. No. It's great. It's great. Honestly, I think that's a good debate for a future time.
All right, but with that, my friends, with that going on, I think 4 to 5, and we got to get to the particular section right here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MP3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MP3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right, look at the time. We're running a little bit dastardly late.
Yep.
I hope we covered a lot of topics and a lot of conversation pieces that really helped you today. And we need to get to the chill section. We're going to start off with the loneliest of lones, the lone wolf. Well, he's not really lonely, but here we go.
All right. So first off, thanks you guys for having me again. This was an awesome episode. I just want to say like and subscribe, everybody, and I think we need to get Tortoise and Hillbilly up to 1,500. Let's make that our next goal.
That's right. Cool. Thank you for that. Now we're going to get to and out of stage. There we go. TCG dude.
I had to hit you with the mugenfool pause. Oh, goodness. No, but hey, good morning, y'all. I'm Alex, the TCG dude, out here keeping magic alive. And yeah, it was Commander, a format I typically don't interact with, and just how others view it. And I think that we have created space for open debates in the Magic community, you know, because it's been 30 years existing and moving forward, and I think everybody being on the same page or on the same card would be great. But yeah, if you want to interact with me and, you know, see what I'm about or do on the internet, you can catch me on YouTube doing box breaks or parody music. I've been itching to open this Edge of Eternity's Play Booster box, and I may or may not do a rip and ship out of it. We will see. Otherwise, you'll catch me playing video games. Recently doing Final Fantasy X over on the Twitch side at TCGDude907. And if you just want to hit me up in the DMs or whatever, X or Discord at TCGDude, and email is cool. Contact.tcgdude@gmail.com. So yeah, otherwise Last Shill is my TCG player store if you guys want to get singles, or, you know, there may be cards that may help you be a better Commander player that I have available. So please check it out. I'll drop that in the comment section. And thanks again, Tortoise, for having me.
Yep. Thank you, Time Capsule. Congrats, he says. Congrats. Whoa. That's right. Oh, I forgot to do. Sorry, I got to figure to clean those little right tokens because I don't want to have to clean them later. TC Dude. All right. Now with that, we're going to roll over to Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody, got two things going on because today is Tuesday. Tuesdays always have two things going on. Besides my morning stream that I do before this stream. Anyway, this afternoon we're doing viewer battles. If you want to play a game of Arena against me, come on by the channel around 2 o'clock. Then later on tonight, around 7 o'clock, we're going to be firing off a Commander game. And if you're interested in playing the Commander game, all you got to do is just be a part of my Discord or Tortoise's Discord. Either one will work. And just let us know that you want to play. And then we'll save you a seat at the spell table. That starts at around 7 o'clock tonight. I usually send the links out for that around 6:30. That way it gives people enough time to get their deck and get their hands and get their decks set up and everything so we can begin the game.
Whoa. Sounds good. Gonna play some Commander. Hey, everybody. It's Super Fast Tortoise here. I want to thank you guys for chilling out with us today, and I hope you got a good education or a thought process, or at least just enjoyed the show. I mean, hey, we're here for you. We're here to have fun. And I want to thank everybody who's been here today, from Hillbilly, Lone Wolf, TC Dude, and everybody in chat. You rock, you roll. But tonight, I don't know if I'm going to do anything live tonight, because tonight I'm going to be on Hillbilly's channel. So if I do anything, it'll be a surprise before 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. But with that, everybody, I want to remind you that you're awesome and amazing. I want to thank you for being here, everybody. I want to remind you that you love someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today. I want to thank you, channel members, for doing what you do, and subscribers for getting us where we are. You guys rock. You guys rule. And with that, let's get that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.